Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to calculate and show you how to use a table to calculate the probability. So the first question is that question asks you, so this z of course at standard normal with the mean equals 0 and standard deviation equals 1, and they want you to calculate the probability z is less than negative 1.2. So you may want to sketch the graph. So this is a standard normal, the center is a 0, and this is a negative 1.2. Which means you need to calculate this blue shaded area. Now you go to the table and find this negative 1.2. So that is here. Negative 1.2 is a 0.1151. That means the answer is 0.1151. So this shaded area is a 0.1151. Again, since the question asks you to find the probability z is less than negative 1.2, I sketched the graph and this is the answer, this shaded area. And I go to the table and I found that number negative 1.2. That is, when the number is a negative 1.20, that is a 0.1151. But if the question asks you to find the probability negative 1.23, so then it's going to be this number, okay? But our question here, this question asks you to find the probability z is less than negative 1.2, and that is this one, 0.1151. Okay. Now, question number 2, the is a probability z is greater than 1.2, and 1.2 is here. And they ask you to calculate this green shaded area. But if you using the fact that the normal distribution is a symmetric around its mean, and this is a standard normal distribution with the center 0, then this one is actually the same as 0.1151. These and that are the same because the distribution is symmetric. Less than negative 1.2, greater than 1.2, same. Now the following question, question number 3, asks you to calculate probability between the negative 1.2 and 1.2, which means that this time they want you to calculate this purple shaded area. Okay, so there are a couple ways to calculate this one, but the best way is using the complements. So under the distribution is 100% or the 1. If you subtract this blue one and then this green one, then you will get this purple one. So what we can do is 1 minus 2 times 0.1157. So in terms of the graph, this is a total. I mean, the 1 is a total under the distribution. And then you subtract this blue one and then the green one. But since they are the same, I did the 2 times of the 0.1157. I said 0.1151. Then we will get the answer. So here, using the calculator, 1 minus 2 times 0.1151, that is 0.7698. So the answer is 0.7698. Okay. Actually, as you can see, the first question I use a table, and then the second question I use the symmetricity of the distribution, and then the question number 3 I use a complement because the under distribution is 100%. Now the question number 4, this is not the standard normal anymore. So x follows normal distribution with the center mean equals 10 and standard deviation is 2. And then the first question asks you to calculate the probability x is less than 8. Well, what you need to do is you standardize, which means probability x minus mean over sigma, and then the right hand side a minus mean over sigma, then that is probability, the x minus mu over sigma becomes z, the standard normal, and then the right hand side, since the mean is given as 10, standard deviation is given as 2, so a minus 10 over 2 is negative 2 over 2 is a negative 1. So probability z is less than negative 1. So same as before, you go to the table, you find the negative 1. That is 0.1587. So the answer is 0.1587. Now, the second question, question number, here, the second question is, we want to find the probability x is greater than 8. Again, it's very helpful when you sketch the graph. So here is a normal distribution x, and then the center is a 10. We just calculate probability x is a less than 8. So this is a green shaded area. It turns out that is a 0.1587. Now the second question asks you probability x is greater than 8. So this blue shaded area, which is 1 minus 0.1587. Again, the total under the distribution is 100% 1. But when you try to find this blue shaded area, that is just 1 minus this green shaded area. So when you calculate that one, that is with the Excel or the calculator, any calculator, you can use your iPhone calculator. It's not that crazy to calculate just 1 minus 0.1587. That is 0.8413. So that's the answer for the question 2. X is greater than 8. Now the question 3, we want to find the probability x is between the 8 and 10. Again, you can sketch the graph. So here, so center is 10 and here's the 8. And we want to calculate this purple shaded area. And keep in mind that the 10 is a center, right? And you know that this green shaded area is a 0.1587. And here's the answer. Well, you can calculate like this way. What you can do is 0.5 minus 0.1587. How is that possible? Well, the center, below the center is a 50%, above the center is a 50%. And since the center is a 10, here is a 50% 0.5, and 0.5 minus this one, the green shaded area, you will get the purple shaded area. So that means here with the calculator, you just need to do the 0.5 minus 0.1587. So I got 0.3413. That's the answer. Now the last question is, again, you sketch the graph to avoid the mistake. Here's the center at 10, and here's the 8, and here's the 12. Now, this one is the thing that we just calculated, which was a 0.3413. But then question asks you to calculate the probability between the 8 and 12. Then you probably notice that here between the 8 and 10 and between the 10 and 12 are the same. I mean here, this one and that one the same because the center is 10, 1 standard deviation below, 2, and 1 standard deviation above. So together, I mean, it's just 2 times 0.3413. So that is 0.6826. That's the answer.